for starters, let's talk about our enemy. Let's talk about the threat. Zombies are uniquely dangerous in that they do not obey the number one rule of conventional monsters. What do I mean by that? Well, the first rule of conventional monsters is you have to go find them. All right? We are the dominant species on the planet. We have conquered the darkness. We have driven it into remote corners of our planet. And therefore, you all have to make a conscious effort to go looking for trouble. And if you do, I have no sympathy for you. Recently, we've all heard about the terrible tragedy of the crocodile hunter. Perfect example. This was not a tragedy. The man was a crocodile hunter. That was his job. He chose that. At some point when he was probably your age, he sat down with his career counselor and he said, you know, I think I'd like to spend the rest of my life poking dangerous animals with a stick. That's what he did. Good for him. Now, had he made another choice, and he chose to be Steve Irwin, the tax attorney, and he'd been just at home, you know, shrimping a Barbie or whatever it is they do down there, and he heard the doorbell, and he said, I'll get it, you know, knock on the door, and opened the door, and there was a stingray, and it jumped on him and stabbed him in the heart. That would have been a tragedy. And that's what's going to be happening to you. You're going to be sitting at home, minding your own business, watching Family Guy, going, oh, wow, look, a non sequitur. And then they will come for you. And they just won't come for you in the ones and the twos. They will come for you in the hundreds, in the thousands, in the millions. And if you live in China or India, in the billions. That is why they're... Which is fine. You know, which means you're all going to have to start learning. And you're all going to have to start specializing. Okay? Someone's going to have to know what plants to eat and how to purify water. And okay, you can't all show up with sledgehammer. Someone needs a bow and arrow, and someone, you know, needs a sword. Okay? All... And please, try, like I said, try and stay away from what looks cool. If you're just like, hey, check out what I can do with a tomahawk. And you go, great. And you just throw your weapon away. So figure out who's going to be in your group. Now, young ladies, you're going to get asked to join a lot of groups. Just be wary, especially if they're freshmen.
You want to be in my zombie group?
Yeah, why?
I just think you have some really nice big talents. I mean, skills. I mean, yeah. So you're going to have to figure out who's in your group, not just for skill-wise, but also socially. You know, who's going to be in your group and who's going you can get along with. I've always said, if you can't survive a road trip to Vegas with someone, you don't want to try and survive the apocalypse. So you get together now, and you start to vet. You start to ask them certain questions, feel them out a little bit. Is this someone you really want on your team? Is this a dry campus, by the way? Officially? Oh, boy. Oh, good. Well, there you go. BYOB. So, you know, bring your own bros and vet them. No, I mean, this is tough. I do a lot of lectures in Utah, and it's tough for them. Because the point is you want to get them in a situation where you can get them hammered and really figure out who they are. You know, that's the thing. In Utah, it's like, give them a Coke. You know, I don't know. But get them wasted, put on some controversial movies, Passion of the Christ, and if they go, yeah, Jews were asking for it. Is someone I really want on my team? Is this someone when they're drunk and you put on what's love got to do with it? They say, well, I mean, the movie didn't really show Ike's point of view. Yeah, you're like, oh, yes. It brings out who you really want, because trust me, there's no greater alcohol than pressure. And when people are under pressure, they're the real selves. Now, most of you college students are way too young to remember a movie. Before you were born, there was a movie called Aliens, starring a man named Bill Paxton. He's the character of Hudson. Go rent that movie and figure out which one of you in your group is going to be Hudson. When the pressure's on. And get rid of him beforehand. So this is what I mean. Find your group, get your skills together, arm yourselves, prepare yourselves, and the most important vetting you will do actually has to do with why Zombie Survival Guide is in the humor section. Because the truth is, if you all leave here tonight, you go back to your dorms, and you say, oh my God, I just heard this guy, Max Brooks, and he was talking about zombies. Holy crap, we gotta arm ourselves right now. That is really not gonna go well. Trust me. What you do is, you get the book, put it in the dorm, coffee table, whatever, roommate comes home, friend's like, sit back watching Glee. Friend's like, what's that? And you're like, oh, yeah, this book, I went to this lecture, this guy, Max Brooks. It's funny. It's not that funny. It's all right. He has this book on like how to fight zombies. Your friend's like, oh my God, dude, that's so gay. And you're like, yeah, it sure is. Yeah, that my God is never getting laid. Yeah. It's all like detailed of like what you'll need. It's like, oh my God, what a loser. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. What do you think you do? Slowly but surely, with a smile and a wink, you drag them in, just like Scientology. So now at this point, David, can you bring the house lights up? I think we're going to take questions from the audience, because there's nothing more I can say that's as important as what you guys can ask.